Hey look, it's a new video. Who would have thunk, right? Yeah, so I've been meaning to make this video for a while now. Like, I didn't want a year to pass by without making one of these, especially because I was going on like a 4 year streak of doing them like semi-consistently. And then, I saw Kendrick was dropping, I saw Drake was dropping, I saw Beyonce dropping, Drake dropped twice. But yeah, I saw all these artists dropping. I was like, well, I gotta make sure I drop before them because, the streets have been waiting like 380 something days for to hear, my voice. And then I realized, after all their albums dropped, and, I have something that Kendrick, Beyonce, and Drake don't have: talent. I'm Colin Fogg. I do what I want. They follow the trail that I set. I mean, really, like, I have more watches than LeBron has championship rings. Now, what type of watches they are, it doesn't matter. It could be like 12 Rolexes. It could be like 8, SpongeBob SquarePants cereal box watches. You don't know me. It doesn't matter. I still have more. That's the fact. All this to say, I have a terrible procrastination issue, and I kind of ran out of topics to talk about. So I need to live life a little bit more. And then I got a lineup, and my afro looks pretty good. So I felt like, you know what? Now's the time to try to get back into it. Being 20 in the 20s. So like I said, in the last year, I've had like a lot more experience dealing with like, life on the professional aspect, financial aspect, friend aspect, social aspect, and it kind of just showed me that 20-year-olds are kind of screwed right now. They say in your 20s, this is kind of like the growing pains era. Like, you find out what you like, what you don't like, what's good for you, and, just what do you want out of life. And you experienced how other people's lives can clash with yours. And, like Jay-Z said, how to move in a room full of vultures. It's funny because I kind of figure out what, like, most of the adult life usually consists of on a daily basis. Like, I worked at a office for a couple months, 2 months. It was a month and a half. I was there for 6 weeks. It was terrible. Anyway, I worked in an office that was up the street from my house. And then, I started realizing early on that, you don't really have much freedom as an adult. Like, think about it. The job is 10 minutes away from me and I had to be there by 8 a.m. It takes 30 minutes for me to get there because everybody else's job starts at 8 a.m. Then I finally get to this job. I get a 30-minute break if I'm lucky. And then on top of that, I get off at 4:30 to where I have to drive that 30-minute, which should be a 10-minute drive, back home. It's 5 o'clock now. And then what do I have to do? I've got to eat. So now I got to figure out what do I want to eat. And then I end up preparing food, which takes about up until 7:30 to really get it situated. And then after I eat the food, that's 20 minutes right there. And then I might want to watch some TV, might want to watch some Family Feud. But then I realize it is 8:30 now. I still have to get a shower and go to bed. So I get showered and now it's 9 o'clock, and then I realize there's a lot of fun stuff I didn't get to do today. So now I try to do the fun stuff that I want to do. Now it's 12 a.m. and I have to be up at 7 a.m. if I want to get to this stupid 8 a.m. job.
We do that for 40 years and then we die.
And Squidward was right. That is the general consensus of being an adult. If you spend a third of the day at work and then spend a tenth in traffic, like, there's not really much time for you to just fully rest up, especially on a weekend, to where you take that Saturday just to sit down and just rest. Then Sunday you finally got energy, but now you gotta do laundry. Like, I really see why our parents and grandparents didn't really like therapy that much, because they didn't have time to get the therapy. And basically that's just your 20s. You find out what the work world is like, you see all your friends going in different avenues, and you're just trying to make the best of what you have. And that being said, being 20 in the 2020s is just straight up terrible. Like, it literally feels like Peppermint Patty and Charlie Brown with that football. Like, everything is just literally set up to go against you. Like, I remember when the pandemic started, everybody was telling me, like, man, it's just a bad time to start a foundation for you guys, It's like, this pandemic was one, nobody could have predicted this. And at first, that was true. It was like, yeah, pandemic, after it gets over, we'll be fine. But then monkeypox happened. Inflation happened, gas prices, every place is getting shot up, and all that happened in 1 month. Like, there's truly something. I think the rapture is coming pretty soon. Like, honestly, used to be, you just had to worry about, finding a good job and then just paying your bills on time. Rent is so damn expensive now. When I was in grad school, I had a 1-bedroom apartment in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and it was $710. And I thought that was like the most expensive price for a 1-bedroom at the time. That same apartment cost $1,000 a month just to rent in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The only good thing about the location was I was beside Best Buy, a Chili's, and a Crunch Fitness. There was a Panera Bread too, so that's probably what really hiked it up the most. Like, it actually makes sense to get in a loving relationship just so you can have a roommate to split these bills now. And we think about it, just going out and having a social life is dangerous because you just don't know what will happen. Like used to be when you go out, you just had to worry about stuff like somebody accidentally pouring a drink on you, somebody scuffing up your shoes, maybe, you hear the occasional gunshots, or, maybe you might get the flu in the middle of December because, it's going around. Now it's like, I can't go out and eat my jerk chicken at Bahama Breeze without worrying about somebody bumping into me and giving me a horrible case of monkeypox. That stuff looks painful, dude. Have you seen the pictures? Ugh. And don't even get me started about the gunshots things, because nowadays you gotta plot your exit from the movie theater just in case, this might be the day, somebody said F Tom Cruise and wanted to shoot up the Wednesday matinee for the new Top Gun movie. I don't think anybody would shoot up a Tyler Perry movie. I don't know, I just feel like that's just a safe bet. I don't know. Then you can't get an abortion no more, even though all rich people get abortions. And then you got climate change, so California doesn't get any water. Florida is going to be underwater in like 2 years, and then there'll be like tornadoes and snowstorms happening the same day in the downtown area. It's like we're gonna be gone about 20 years, looking like. I feel like we can make it to 2050 at the most. Then they're talking about we're gonna run out of Social Security by the time we're old. So it's like, what the hell am I working for? And I've never been the one to say, this is the worst time to be alive, because, I know it could be worse. Like, 2020s is completely different from 1920s because, they ain't have no AC. And if you didn't know, like, white people were very mean back then, like, spraying you with water hose and sicking dogs. They're kind of mean now, but, at least I ain't getting sprayed by a water hose right now. So it got that going for me, and, I don't know how you could have lived in the 20s. I wasn't built for that. God knew what he was doing putting me right here. 1920s is the definition of hell to me, because it's kind of like, they ain't have no internet either. So it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, well, I guess drink. So yeah, I guess I would just be an alcoholic. But all that being said, it is very weird right now being in your 20s, but we'll get through it. A couple months ago, I hung out with my friends from back home, and we were just catching up on life and just talking about our experiences, and it filled my heart with so much warmth and joy when I found out that these niggas' lives were going just as bad as mine. Like, it was a beautiful thing. It felt like the poster to Waiting to Excel. Like, I felt like I had friends that treated me well. It might give me a Cinnabon to play that soundtrack now that I think about it. But yeah, moral of the story is, 2020s, it's trash. Being in your 20s, hopefully you come out on the other side stronger. There's something bigger at play. Or not, somebody gotta work at Chick-fil-A, so, that's the video. It felt good doing this again. Next one might be in like, a month or, 3 years. Who knows? Start paying me. I don't know. It was good seeing you guys.
She's forgotten what it's like to live on the outside, to not be in prison.
Coming to bed, honey?
Yes, dear.